Hey everyone, in this mobility class, we're going to focus on 4 foundational moves that everyone should probably practice if they want to keep their body active and to keep doing the things that they love. These 4 things are the squat, bend, twist, and stretch. And we're going to work in different exercises that will help us build up to those kinds of moves. Now let's talk about what those moves actually mean. So a squat, everyone knows what that is. That's bringing ourselves down into this position where our spine is not bent over like this and our hips are sinking underneath or to the place where our knees are. That's where they're trying to go. That's the squat. So anything similar to that could be in different stances like this and like this. They're all still squatting down. So that's the squat. And for that, we need good strength and control and mobility throughout our hips, throughout our knees, our ankles, and even, see this, in our feet, our toes of the feet. Even that joint is super critical for these kinds of moves. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the bend. Bending over just like this, right? Next one is the twist. So that means that I rotate. You know how you rotate and take something off the back seat of the car, just like that. So rotation. There are many ways to practice rotation. This is a fundamental human movement. And the last one is to stretch. When I say stretch, I mean not just passive stretching, not just holding a stretch like this, but actually having my muscles and my joints be able to handle load that's built throughout length. So I reach end range of motion and I want my joints to be able to handle these places well. It's not just about how far I go, but it's how my body handles that end range. That's what that's about. So we're going to focus on fundamental exercises, positions that we can take advantage of in order to help us build up to better squatting, bending, twisting, and stretching. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to start off on our hands and knees. I like getting something underneath my knees, and that's why I've asked you to get a folded towel or blanket ready for you, like this. First off, we got to understand that when I'm in a quadruped position on my hands and knees, I've taken my spine from being here, right? And there's compression because gravity is vertical, like this. And I've spread out my spine like this. So now that my spine is horizontal, I don't have axial compression working against my spine. So that is going to make a lot of stuff a little bit easier. Let's say if I want to go like this, I don't have any compression when I twist. When I'm here and I'm twisting, I have compression, so I have to work more on length. So I can build up and I can hold my spine, create better stability in this position, and this will later translate better to this position. Same goes for anything else in this position. I have better distribution of load over more joints of my body. So even my knees, right? It's easier to be here than to be here. I'm still going to be in hip flexion and knee flexion and maybe even ankle dorsiflexion, but there's much less load when I send my leg back like this and go like this. Here, that's the same position I was just in with the squat. My knee is bent, my hip is flexed, look at my toes, all of this, but I don't have all that body weight on it. So this just makes this a great position to start off with. So we're going to start off here, and the first thing that I want you to do is move your spine a little bit, but not too much, and you don't want jerky movements like this. You want to gently send your tailbone out like this, and gently start bringing your tailbone in like this. I don't go all the way to here, and I don't go all the way to here. And that's all you got to know about this move for now to stay safe. As I'm sending my tailbone in, I'm looking down into my belly, exhaling, and drawing my belly button in. And then when we're releasing the tailbone out, I'm starting to look about 2-3 feet forward, and I inhale. And again, exhale. Start from the tail, and I feel the vertebrae one after the other going in until my chin meets my chest if that's possible. All the air exhaled out, and then inhale. And I start releasing that throughout my vertebrae, all the way to the top of the spine, which is the base of my skull. And again, exhale all the air out, and inhale. Great, perfect. So what we're gonna do now, you can shake off your hands for a moment. We are going to send our right foot forward just like this. And what's happening in this position is I got my hip into flexion, and now I can start playing around in something that's very similar to a squatting position, and I can start playing around in that position and building capacity on both sides, but not simultaneously. So if I have one side that has more of a limiting factor, let's say one knee is limiting me, one hip is the issue, maybe one foot or ankle is going to be the issue. I'm isolating this now because I'm separating both sides, and I can compare, I can test sides and see which one is maybe limiting me a little bit more, and I can focus on that. I'm gonna do both sides anyway. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna hug the knee right underneath here, and we are going to disconnect the leg in the back just like this. And I'm just gonna hold this position right now. I'm letting my hips carry my weight. The weight is more on the front leg than on the back leg, but I don't want to lose that back leg. I still want to press the back leg, the toes, into the mat and create tension, pulling on the kneecap. See that knee? Like this. So when I pull on the kneecap, my knee extends and I have control over my knee. And it wants to soften down like this. So I want to keep pulling on that. And that demands a little bit more coordination because I want to put weight here, pull here, but that's how we get better at things. I hold this, my weight is distributed evenly with my hand and my foot, and I got the back leg helping me out too. And back down. Let me show you what this looks like from the front. I have my hand and my foot on that same line. This is exactly where this hand was. I'm about shoulder to hip width apart. I bring the leg in, they're on the same line. I disconnect the knee in the back, and here is where I am. Now you're gonna maybe feel a tendency to lean into the hand or maybe lean into the foot a little bit more. Find something there in the middle that feels right for you right now. Great, now let's give this a rest for just one moment, and let's switch sides. So I'm bringing my left foot to be in line with my right hand, extending the right leg out, pulling on the kneecap, and making sure that I have more weight on the leg in the front. Holding this position, feeling that distribution of weight between the foot and the hand and the foot in the back. Holding it and bringing my knee down and releasing this position for a moment and releasing my hands. Great, so as you can see right now, we're working first off on our squat position, because if we translate this, we talked about this, if we translate this, we bring both legs here, right? I'm here, but I have more control over how much load I'm placing on my knees, my ankles, on my lower body, plus I'm separating sides. I'm working unilateral on the right, then on the left, and then I can kind of understand, is there a difference? Because when I squat, I honestly have a hard time telling if there is a difference between the right and the left. If there is one side that's limiting me, then my squat will not be optimal. It won't be where my potential could be. Max decided to join us, so I offered him the folded towel. Not like I had a choice. So, as we're saying, we're practicing that squat, deeper squat position, separating both sides. And then we have much more insight regarding our specific body. We learn a lot from this, and that really helps us out, figuring things out and then progressing from there. So the next part for us, after we're in this position, just like this, right? We said how we want to deepen that position. We want to work on, now we're working on a stretch and the squat, and we're not bending and twisting yet. So the way to deepen the squat is start driving this knee forward past our toes, just like this. So my hand is still supporting me a little bit, but it doesn't have to support me that much anymore. It just gives me a little bit of support so I can keep driving that knee forward. And I like hugging the knee here. It helps me gain more stability over the knee as I'm driving it forward. Once I feel comfortable enough, I don't have to give it this kind of support anymore. But for now, it's really helping me out figuring out what my range is here in my ankles. So don't lose the tension. As you're coming forward, there's a tendency to lose the tension in the back leg. Keep pressing the back leg back and the knee, the right knee, driving it forward. All right, so now we're deepening this position and we're also working at end range. So we're building our squat and our stretch. And I hold it. I'm working really hard with the back leg. This is challenging, holding that kneecap and pulling on it with the quad, pressing the mat, driving this knee forward. There's a lot of work going into this right now. So I'm building that strength and stability right here in end range, which is super important. I'm gonna hold this for another 3 seconds, 2 and 1. Release it down, and I'm gonna switch sides. Left foot forward, leg back, pulling on that kneecap, driving this knee forward to the capacity I feel most comfortable with right now today. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and release. Great, let's release our legs and our arms. Wiggle our legs. We can wiggle our knees, shake our hands off. So we're gonna go back into that position and we're gonna add a twist. And I'm going to also show a really good modification for anyone who was kind of struggling with this, because we're adding on a rotation. So I'm going to show the challenging version where I maintain that position, add rotation, and then I will show you guys a modification for anyone struggling. So back to here, sending this leg back, driving my knee forward, finding that place where this is still working, this, building my toes also there, right? All that's working. Driving this knee forward to where I still feel the tension being held in the back leg. And now I'm going to rotate, twisting my spine and looking up. Now there's a rule here. If you're new to this or you're coming in with pain and limitation, go to the maximum, but then return slightly, about 5 degrees less than maximum, and hold that position with the next 2. If this is your maximum, go back 5 to 10 degrees, and this is where you want to hold this at first to build your capacity for this kind of stuff. Hold this position, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Before I switch sides, I want to show you the modification. So basically, the most simplest modification possible. Keep your knee down. Don't stretch it back. Bring your arm here. Support that rotation. And then rotate using this hand supporting you, pressing down into the thigh. And you have this arm anchored. This hand is anchored down into the mat. And this will help facilitate that twisting of the spine that we're creating. If it feels comfortable, you can go ahead and lift your arm up. And if it feels comfortable, you can go ahead and even disconnect this knee just a bit, just like this. Also completely fine. You don't have to go all the way out like this. Find that place where you feel comfortable today, and you're gonna work your way up, I promise. And release. So do this variation if you're struggling with it. Opposite side. Leg back. Drive the knee, but don't lose tension. Twist and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Shake off your arms. You can wiggle your legs a little bit. And we'll move on to our next exercise. So for that exercise we just did, we were working on our squatting position, twisting, and stretching, right? Going into end range in our joints, controlling end range. That's what stretching actually, that's how we want to approach stretching. So now we want to balance out what we just did with something that is one of my favorite exercises, which is just rolling back. So I let myself rock back like this and come back up again. Whenever I do something super rigid with my body, holding tension, holding my spine in a certain position, loading my hips and holding those kinds of things, I always go into this afterwards to release that tension from my body. I start by being pretty much freestyle. I don't really think about this too much. I support the motion with my hands. I send my legs over my head, and then I control the way back up. Just go like this for about 10, 12 times. And after I've done this, I want to create more strict work here, which is going to really help support all the other stuff I do by working my core in a very specific way. Now, the actual word core could mean so many things, right? So it's not just about our abs, it's just about the way we control the center of our body. And that means that it's how I support it, maintain its length, stabilize it as I'm being dynamic and moving. So one key thing here with core is breathing. Breathing, the mechanics of breathing, I can use the mechanics of breathing to create a lot of stability around my spine. That's because I'm playing and regulating with the pressure, my intra-abdominal pressure, and that has a very strong effect on my spine. So I'm lifting my legs up like this, and as I'm rolling back, I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to inhale to the sides and the back of the ribs. So I'm trying to inhale to the back and keep my head, my chin tucked in, keep myself looking down into my belly, drawing my belly button in a little bit, and I inhale as I roll back. And now I'm going to exhale as I come back up. And the goal is to keep everything round like this, because what wants to happen now is my back wants to flatten out like this, and as I come up, my legs want to come away and leverage this up like this. They want to create this momentum here so I can pull myself up. But what I'm trying to do is stay round, so I keep looking down as I'm coming back up. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you're able to control this position here and not get your feet on the mat, that's even better. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Once your body is warmed up, you can start creating different variations here. One of my favorite variations, which is really nice for my hips, is I'm crossing my feet and I'm holding my heels like this. From the side, my elbows are really close to my body, so it looks like this. Legs are crossed, holding my heels. Instead of being here, I'm pulling it in like this and pulling my hips in like this. So I'm really trying to be closed like this and full hip flexion with an external rotation in my hips and keeping my elbows close to my body, chin in, and rolling like this. Inhale. Exhale. And compress myself in, but I'm creating length in my spine, drawing my belly button in so I'm not compressing the spine. Inhale. Exhale. This is a much more advanced version, so of course you can regress to whatever version feels better for you. You can even keep your feet here, lift them, hold this rounded position, release the feet if you can't rock back right now. Sometimes the shape of the spine, the actual structure, doesn't allow this kind of rolling motion. And if that's you, you don't have to worry about it too much. Just hold a rounded position and breathe. Look into your belly button. Right, let's do 4 more in whatever variation feels good for you today. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And release. All right, guys, great job. Thanks for joining me today. We worked with the first position we were in. I showed you guys how you can take one simple position and start building your squat, bend, twist, and stretch all together in that one position. Then we moved on to an exercise that you can use just to release tension, all the tension we've built in the previous one. And also, if we start creating more control over this position in this exercise, we can actually turn this from a releasing exercise to a deep core exercise. Really good for creating that good connection in the center here that connects the lower body and the upper body together. All right, I clearly built up a sweat here. I hope you did too, and I'll see you in the next one.